All right, welcome back. So Trump and Musk, mass chaos in the government. There's an article
Sorry,
here.
Ola.
Yes,
Sorry, Ola.
yes,
As
yes,
we
yes,
as
sir.
we proceed, somebody
Uh-huh.
just reminded me that I failed to mention the last name of the new deputy governor of Ondo State. He is Dr. Uh, Laide Adelami. Dr. Laide Adelami. My
Adelami.
apologies. Yes, the new deputy governor of Ondo State. My apologies. Thank you so much.
That's okay. All right, so let's talk about Trump and Musk. Mosquito. Mass chaos in the government. Mass chaos in the government. So there's a report here on AP News. Federal workers return to offices amid threat from Elon Musk. Federal employees across the country, that's United States, many of whom have worked from home since the COVID-19 pandemic, were back at agency offices Monday under President Donald Trump's return to office mandate. Billionaire Elon Musk, who is leading Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, scoring government agencies for suspected waste, delivered a warning Monday to workers on his platform X. And I quote, starting this week, those who still fail to return to office will be placed on administrative leave, Musk wrote. Then Elise Zeldin, Trump's new administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, said Monday on X, full-time, and I quote, full-time COVID-era remote work is done under POTUS leadership. In a video he posted, Zeldin said average attendance at EPA headquarters on Mondays and Fridays last year was less than 9% of employees. And I quote, our spacious, beautiful EPA headquarters spans 2 city blocks in DC across 5 buildings, Zeldin said, but our hallways have been too vacant, desks empty, and cubicles filled with unoccupied chairs. It appears at least some federal agencies are not prepared for all remote workers to return to the office. And in an email to U.S. Department of Education federal student aid employees on Friday obtained by the Associated Press, agency officials noted that some regional offices in Boston, Chicago, New York, and San Francisco were not ready for workers to return. The message also noted that employees who live more than 50 miles from regional offices in some major cities would not be required to return to the office Monday. And I quote, we should treat it like the first day of school. Plan a little time in your calendar to get oriented, find your way around, and figure out how to connect in the conference rooms, the email said. There will no doubt be some who get lost or are late to class and have to scramble to find a seat. So anyway, I'm going to end with this so you can give me your take on this, right? Federal workers, according to a U.S. Office of Personnel, federal workers can ignore Elon Musk email ultimatum. There's bass boost in the government. Anyway,
That's right.
let me hear your take.
It's almost like a situation of the ultimate confrontation. It seems like are getting to a crescendo right now, that climax. And there will ultimately be some kind of resolution. It's going to be whether there's a interregnum of dictatorship would score the ultimate victory, or the people, or we as American people would have the ultimate triumph over these tormentors, elected tormentors. But remember that Elon Musk himself is not elected. And look at the platform he uses to want to control the destiny of millions of us Americans.
So wait, do we consider him a political appointee or not?
Honestly, today Donald Trump will say he is an appointee. Tomorrow he says, he is not. So if these people, it's a kind of confusion, a confused situation right now. Donald Trump cannot even honestly answer that question you just asked me. Well, it will say that people are dodge, particularly Elon Musk, to answer in the affirmative that, he's a government appointee. He's just a floating man doing some martial job. It's almost like, yes, honestly, I want to be very guarded and guided in how I use, I mean, I describe the situation. But honestly, I see a kind of mafia script in everything that is going on. This is like, I mean, sitting at the heart of the substance of Americanity and almost rubbing it in that it could be run with the whims and caprices of certain individuals. When these two would have passed, you would see, what is behind it all. This cannot be a honest situation, a honest brokerage for the American people. It cannot.
You don't think they're going to help us reduce wastage?
What wastage? Even when they themselves do not, represent anything other than waste in itself.
So what about all those? What about all those people with who are 100 years old and 150 years old that have been collecting?
It never happened. It never happened. You have had the position of expert when Social Security was going to be floated, when it was going to start out originally. Certain individuals' age were brought from 1875. It was, you are a scientist yourself, Ola. It's almost like an hypothetical situation to start out. We start out with this. It's not as if they are enrolled in that system. That is the explanation that has come from informed experts. So
there's no actual money going out to this.
Nobody from 1875 that they like to quote. And after there was a pushback, did you hear him say that anymore? I mean, it's like all of us have forgotten who this guy is. Every second that passes, there must be one lie. You think he's going to suddenly stop lying to us?
What are you talking about? You talk about Elon Musk or Trump?
The head man himself.
Okay,
Donald Trump. Yes, okay. Of course.
Do you believe that Elon Musk will yield to lie to help him lie?
Yes. Don't you know where it's coming from?
Yeah, tell me, please. Do share.
Where it's coming from? It's coming from racist South Africa, and that is the agenda that is forcing on the world. So he's not. Yes, Elon Musk is not able to resign himself to the practical truth that apartheid is over, and it's rubbing it on the. If you cannot contain an evil child, a bad child at infancy, what do you think is going to become when he grows up? That is what the world is reaping in people like Elon Musk. So the heritage of apartheid that grounded South Africa is what he is now forcing on the entire globe. Okay. And we'll see how that works for him.
Let me play this video for you. This is breaking news. This happened over the past 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, this is between Macron.
Sorry, you saw, because of the passion with which I was speaking, you saw my props tumbling.
I got you.
That is the way their lives will be tumbling.
I got you. I just want you to touch this one because of time as well. I want to play this video, and then I want to hear your take on this video. This is within the last hour between Macron, who is I think he's the president of Canada, and Donald Trump.
No, Macron is the president of France.
France.
Yeah, he just met with Donald Trump in the White House.
Right. So there's some kind of interruption here. I want to see if you can pick up how he interrupted Trump, and let's take it from there.
Support the idea to have Ukraine first being compensated, because they are the one to have lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by these attacks. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because they were the one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear.
Okay.
We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day and Russia will have paid for that.
If you
This is my
believe
wish.
that, it's okay with me.
President
What?
Trump has long been talking about he believes the U.S. got the short end of the deal here. He believes that the U.S. was on a gravy train, in his words, during the Biden administration and has been ripped off, and saying that Europe and European countries have a loan and the U.S. has just been paying assistance to Ukraine.
All right. So are you able to understand what they're talking? He got checked,
yes.
maybe fact checked in real time.
Yes, we're walking this line. Do not forget that this guy essentially is not your regular internationalist. He has very poor understanding of what is involved internationally. He has short attention span when it comes to the details of foreign affairs, international engagement. And when he is being told, now fact-checked in record time, in good time.
On TV, national TV.
Because he went there poorly prepared. He's never been a good student. And as a leader, what else do you expect from him? What else would you expect from him? I mean, this is really beneath our place as Americans. It's never been this low. The bar has been brought so low. And he has to deal with that. There will be several moments like that. Especially, do not forget, the French president spent part of his formative years living in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we speak the truth to authorities, to power. No, that is an heritage, that is enduring with him because of his past stay in Africa. And which is why he is able to tell it to him the way it is. Unlike those lackeys and what do you call them, sycophants around him, who all they want to do is to kiss his imperial presidency's ring. Somebody is able to tell it to him as it is. That no. Those things you want Ukraine to pay for ultimately. You violated the people of Ukraine. The frozen assets of Russia will pay for that ultimately. And let's continue to watch the way things are. We thank God for the moment in which we live. God is affording us the opportunity to see ourselves as Americans, the worst of us. Many of us voted for him. They gave him an overwhelming mandate. They are not with him on how he is spending it. And now he would have to give account ultimately. But we hope it does not wreck this nation. That is all I have to say.
See, I can't lie. When the Macron French president was talking, I got lost for a second because he was talking about some really complicated, complex stuff. Obviously, if you don't really follow politics or, like you said, foreign policy.
Yes, the deal is that you carry more than an average brain. You know where you're coming from. This is, yes, maybe it would look like that for the purposes of us breaking it down for mass education, for mass communication. But the truth of the matter is that it's so simple enough that you do not push a person into double jeopardy.
What is the crux of what he said there that was different from what Trump was insinuating?
What Trump was going to insinuate is that ultimately Ukraine would have to pay for the crime committed by Russia. Remember, the issue here is territorial invasion and aggression.
Yes.
Seizing lands belonging to people of Ukraine, and then you know the way Donald Trump has been parroting the disinformation system from Russia, accusing the guy, the Ukrainian president, of being a dictator, of being somebody who started the war, and then the world pushed back. This is almost like a second serious pushback, and he continues to double down on his false claims.
So now, what did Macron say to counter that?
What he is saying is that no. Some of these things you are looking at as gross debt or whatever to, on the part of people of Ukraine. No, that is not the way these things were structured. Certain assets are frozen concerning Russia. If ultimately this thing, is resolved, Russia ultimately will still pay. And if they cannot pay, and maybe as a way of a settlement, whatever arrangement comes from
they
that,
have a lot more at stake ultimately anyway.
that is it.
Yeah.
But to make it look like Ukraine has offended and has
to make it look like it's a Mexico fence.
It's more than that. What he is now saying is that ultimately certain frozen assets on the part of the what's it called, the antagonist in this matter, the aggressor, will be used to defray whatever has been advanced in loan.
Right.
The grant will remain grant. So
yes, the grant will remain grant, just like
and for things that were carefully negotiated, that were honestly, negotiated by past American administration, you are not going to turn it around as if, you are going to exert certain negative advantage on the people of Ukraine. That is what he has just been told there.
What do you say about the fact that they've been calling, what's his name, Zelensky? Ukraine president. They've been calling him a dictator over the past 7 to 10 days or so. What do you say about that?
The talking point coming straight from the mouth of Vladimir Putin, the Russian strongman and the killer. That is coming from Vladimir Putin. The point they are making here, between Ukraine and Russia, where do they have free and fair elections? It's in Ukraine. In Russia, Vladimir Putin could be returned into office as if there is Iran or Iraq. 99% victory in any election. Does it make sense to you? That is where the dictatorship is. That is where they don't have credible election. But now turning it around, using the talking points developed by what's it called, by Kremlin, by Russia, to want to describe the duly elected legitimate president of Ukraine. It's what the world is telling him is unacceptable, and that that has to be put in check, which is why Zelensky told him that he is in this submission bubble.
Okay. All right. Let us know your thoughts about this one, please.
So remember, in the past on this show, we have said the original guy that is guilty of fake news, who wanted to destroy the media, is Donald Trump. And that is what you still see him doing, peddling in fake news. Yeah.
As long as it works in his favor, is that what you're saying?
Just to cause confusion in the world and reconfigure the world. Don't remember this guy. Don't forget, this guy is a disruptor. Disruptor of a strange kind. Yes. Will seize your brain and make you think that, this lies is the truth, until you now find out that you may even be, become sick by way of a mental health. That is the kind of situation the world is contending with. When it's done with all of us, you will see the number of people that will be struggling with the mental health issues. That is what lies. Living under liars and authoritarian people. That is what such a situation breeds.
All right. Without any further ado, we're just going to move on to the next story. Let us know what your thoughts are out here. What do you think? Do you think there's waste in this nation that we need to clean up, that we need Elon Musk for, or you think it's all cap? Like we need to get back to business as usual, and this guy is just trying to divide the country still. Let me know. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We'll be right back.